Okay, test. Okay, I think this is working fine. Do I have it? I do not have it. Actually, let me hide this. I think is the audio fine? Check. Okay, yeah. The audio is fine. Yeah, we should be back now. Up, this is up. Hey Alex, how you doing? I'm just like building an app for a merchant and I was like, hey, I should probably be live. And yeah, there's like nothing else. Also, I need to kind of get used to the whole thing because I was like, it's just much more convenient doing live streams than all of the other stuff, purely because I don't have to edit videos and I can just be like, hey, free content. Well, technically not free, but you get the idea. Oh shit. Hold on. I need to. Why do I keep exposing any variables? I need to. Okay, wait. What I can do here. This database doesn't exist. I need to create a new database. By the way, Arion is just. Where is my. Oh god. I hate this. So, what has now happened is. Oh, can you not do that, Mac, please? How do I get my mouse? So my mouse is stuck on my iPad. I hate this so much. Okay, let's see. Mac, nope, I do not want to do that. Can I get out of this? Okay, yeah, I got out of it. Cool. Are we back? Okay, yeah, it's back now. Yeah, sorry, I'm just like creating a new database and I kind of do not want to expose what's happening. Actually, while it's creating the database, let me increase this. I hope that doesn't mess up. Yeah, that doesn't mess up that one. Okay. Secret. Okay. What is it doing? Right. New database, delete this one. So like essentially what I'm doing right now is on the background just creating a new planet scale database. So I have this one account where I just keep on doing all of this stuff. So essentially what we're creating right now is a new Oregon, I mean, it doesn't matter. So we're creating a new pre-order app. This is because one of my merchants, we're trying to get a pre-order app to work properly with a product customization app, and I can't actually do it properly. But now that the storefront API is out, we will be using the storefront API along with like the whole authenticated app thing. So that should be cool if I can figure out how to get it to work properly. Yeah, okay, cool. Create that. Okay, database URL. Oh god. No, it went away. It went away. What did I do? Wait, did it update? No, it didn't update. Screw my life. Okay, generate a new password. Okay, and bring this to the end. Sorry, I'm just pulling a bunch of things and I feel like, yeah, this should be fine now. Yep. Ba-da-ba. Okay, we can get out of this. Right, secure npm run and grok. I'm not really too concerned about kind of showing what I'm writing, but like if you have any questions, just like actually let me just add it in text right now. Okay, if you have a Shopify app question, type it in chat. Okay, I think that should be good. Can't connect to database. That's okay. Now it's live. Let's see what all is there. Active stores, analytics, pre-order details, and this. Okay. So what's happening here is we're using Prisma. So this is the Next.js repository. We are building a new Shopify app that manages pre-order stuff. Okay, first was so active. Actually, I want to change active stores to just stores. This is something I want to make a change in the entire repo, because I've been using active stores everywhere and it's really irritating. I do not like the whole concept of active stores. Pre-order details. Actually, I want to add in raw JSON here too. But actually, I already have the raw JSON there. Make it optional. What else do I need? So pre-order details, analytics. Actually, this needs to go. Nice. So this entire thing needs to go. What I need to do is model product ID string ID default CUID. Now I do not want a relationship with a store because this is a single store app, so I'm not too worried about multi-tenancy right now, because all of this is just belonging to just one store, so we're not too worried about clashes. So what I want to do is I want to store the product ID, make it this is has variance bool default false, but that needs to be there because if it now in any case I'm gonna have at least one variant. So what makes more sense? Actually, wait. So GraphQL product ID. So the difference between product ID and GraphQL ID here is product ID is what I'm getting from Liquid, and GraphQL ID is of course what I'm getting from GraphQL. I'm also going to have to see how I want to use the storefront APIs, because now that that is available, that would be fun. I don't want to add anything here. Actually, no. Has variance will need to be a thing, because we'll come to this model variance ID string ID default CUID. Now product ID has to be unique, and this needs to be unique. Variant ID string is also unique. Variant GraphQL variant ID will also be unique. Yeah. Okay. Now the concept is a store can have multiple products, which is fine. We're not creating a relationship there because we are querying all the products directly by either their product ID or the GraphQL ID. We are fine with it not being unique too, so that's also a good thing. But once we come here, a variant, so a product can have multiple variants. So this and Prisma format will create it automatically, but I want to make sure that each variant has at least one product and index the product, and index the product ID, because we're using relation mode Prisma, given that Prisma is the one that's actually handling all of the relationships. That makes sense. Now either ways, what I want to do here is I want to put a start date, but I'm going to store it as a string. End date, store it as a string, and in both the cases have a created underscore add, which is date time, defaults to now, and updated add, again date time, this is updated add. So we are almost never interfacing with created and updated add unless I want it in a specific order. There's no need to make a unique array there. Actually, instead of has variants is default variant, because what happens with Shopify is even if you have a product with just with 0 variants, it technically has a default variant. So technically every product has at least one variant. So start date, pre-order, start date, pre-order end date. I actually want to push this down. Relationships, miscellaneous. Now, I have a start date for the pre-order, end date for the pre-order, pre-order quantity, which is always an int, default is 0. So essentially, how many products are we pre-ordering, and is infinite. Do we need an infinite pre-order? Doesn't make keep selling until manually turned off. So essentially the idea is I have a start date and an end date on a pre-order. I have a pre-order quantity, so I can actually check, be like, okay, hey, a merchant wants to sell maybe like 500, and then once kind of that is done, this makes sense. So pre-order quantity is there, by default it's 0, as is infinite pre-order. Do I want to name this or do I want to name it something else? I think this is fine. So now the idea is the merchant can put something on a pre-order infinitely just to see how many products they can pre-sell and then create this thing. Okay. Availability. Am I creating a spelling error? Availability. No, I'm not. Okay. Availability. Again, I'm going to store it as a string because if I'm using Prisma, I'm always worried about converting things to ISO and back, and here I kind of want it as YYYYMM, and DD is optional. Again, like this is how I format things. So every team I work with, I kind of give them a document beforehand where it's like, hey, this is how I format things. You can just take a look there. Let's call it shipping date, so it's much more understandable. When the product is available to ship out, all of the other data comes there. What else do I want to throw in the database? You have a start date, you have an end date, how many to sell, and a shipping date. Yeah, I think this is enough because I do not see having to create anything else. Hey, yes, sir, how you doing? Yeah, I think that is about it. So, visualize Prisma schema. Prismalizer. Okay, where are you available? Because database schemas are something that I find extremely irritating sometimes. I'm just like, I honestly want to be done with it. Okay, so store in session, I do not want to make any sort of this thing there. When it comes to products, why is this being so weird? Anyways, so now when it comes to products, it's like a product exists and each product has multiple variants. I'm not worried about things right now because each, like the entire thing is being built only for one merchant. So there's no point in having multi-tenancy. Otherwise, I would have created a relationship of product with the stores. So we could then pull out all of the products of a specific merchant and then run this. And I think is infinite pre-order is kind of not really a thing with this merchant, but I'm still putting it in anyways. I also need to add in model analytics. What I want to do here is make an ID, add ID, add default, CUID. I want to put in order ID, order ID from the store, GraphQL order ID, this is self-explanatory. Now this can have let's call it pre-order products. So my product model now has this. Actually, you know what? Let's make this optional. Analytics ID. Yup. So essentially what I can do is for my analytics model, I can I hate this thing so much because I can't just like once I move something somewhere, it's just like stuck there forever. But then it's open source, so I can probably like fix it. So the essential idea now becomes is yep, so a product can have multiple variants and it can be a part of multiple analytics mode. Okay, this makes sense. Need date? What date are you talking about? Yeah, I think we are good to go. I don't have to think about anything else. Because it's a pretty straightforward app where yep, this is good to go. So I was actually thinking about all the requirements that sent me, which I have like an insane amount of notes on. Where is the merchant? Oh yeah, the inventory planning also has to, but that would be fine. Metafields and collections. Oh yeah, we are good to go on this because I can give them analytics on what products were pushed out, or for each product what. Oh no, I need a many to many relationship here because this should be fine now. Yeah, because what needs to happen is a product can be attached to multiple analytics and a single analytics can be attached to multiple products. Actually, let's call it orders. So if I format this and if I push this, oh yeah, this then creates its own. Why can't? This creates a new this where, okay, now this makes sense. Yep. So a product can have multiple variants and be assigned to multiple analytics. Analytics orders can have multiple products, which are again optional. This is orders to product is a auto created thing. Is it there in the model? No, it's not there in the model. So if I open this up, yep, it auto creates this, orders this, products in. Yeah, so even for this, I can just have these miscellaneous. relationships. Yeah, we are good to go. Okay, cool. Now let's install the app and start doing. So another thing that most people don't do is like you can copy this, paste it here, and then like I already wrote the subdomain, so you can just kind of do the entire thing in one shot, and you do not have to worry about. Wait, if I close this, I'll break that too. Okay. Why? Oh yeah. Wait, but why was the connection refused? npm run update URL. Oh right, because also my server isn't running. Extremely professional. Okay. I think I deleted that app the other day. Let me actually pull from. Okay, let's. Yep. Okay, so now let's run npm run update URL clear npm run dev. Yep. And now if I run this, but if the app doesn't exist, how did it show me that it updated everything timely? It's very weird. Okay, I'm actually not gonna, like, I'm gonna look into this later, but I don't think I want to spend the time right now to figuring that out. Also, another thing is orders paid, products. Why do I have a type error? Oh yeah, got it. So there's this weird error where I have a type error and it has to do with like the navigation menu. What you kind of need to do is head into pages, head into app, and copy this. I don't think I have to. Oh yeah, I need to pull in router. Navigation menu, paste that in, and it's taken care of. Yep, that works. But it's like one of the more weirdo errors that I have, because the only thing that you're making a change here on is the matcher, and it's really weird about why it works the way that it does. Fix type error git. Okay. Now, when it comes to pre-ordering, I want to. So I did like some basic UI first. Yep. So when I start typing, I want this to happen. I want them to select that. Right, this is broken. Actually, I'm just gonna throw out the entire UI first. Let's redo this pre-order, delete that. Do I have to do any other stuff here? Okay, I'm going to leave the debug cards in. Actually, I don't need this right now. Also, why is this on full width? Let's call it manage pre-orders and have another one. Actually, I think I can just use 1/2 and the other one would be pre-order analytics. And then what do you see? We can make this view. And make this just analytics, content here, view more information about your pre-order analytics. Actually, view pre-order analytics. Wait, why did, okay, yeah, right. No, but okay. Now layout section ends here. This starts 1/2. Manage pre-orders. So we have a create, and for the secondary, I need a view on action router.push pre-order view. But this should be fine. Oh, no. Oh, right. Now this should be fine. Okay. View and create. So this gets that done. Let's create a new layout.section, a new legacy card section, title, developer notes. So what I do is I usually add in developer notes everywhere just so I remember what I have to do. Set up analytics section. Yeah, I think on this page there's nothing else that I need. So pre-order create. So create new page, pre-order create, pre-orders, we go on create, okay. We need a back action here, content home, on action, router.push this, const router, use router. Okay. So now this should work. Okay, it's working. Actually, yeah, what I can also do is add set up view pre-orders. So first what I want to do is I want to create the shell of the entire thing. So that's just UI, no API calls. Then I kind of want to move on to doing everything else. So manage pre-orders, create. We are here. Let the user know where they are. Create new create pre-orders, actually create and manage. Nah, this is where you can. So the thing here, oh yeah, right, makes sense. So when you are in index.jsx, I want you to view and manage. Yeah. So create, actually let's turn that into a text from Polaris as P. Now here, create would actually no, text as span, font weight bold, create new products, create new pre-order products, and do this. View current orders on pre-order and edit them. So the reason why we are kind of doing it this way and not following a certain like more this pattern is because right now I'm gonna give it to my merchant, and the whole idea is the merchant shouldn't require a tutorial from me. I want them to open it. I want them to be like, hey, I do not understand what create and view and manage does, or the moment I come in, I want to be like, okay, hey, what does create and what does view and manage do? So instead of having to search around for documentation, I can just look here and be like, okay, hey, this is what this is doing. So this kind of creates a tutorial less section for the merchants themselves. So what all they have to do is like open the app, click on things, and all of the content is right there. So this kind of content is just in time tutorial. And again, the developer notes are for me, so I can always come back and see what I'm working with or what's left out. Like right now I haven't set up analytics and this view and manage area. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna then remember, okay, hey, this is what's pending, and I can just come here, click on create, and be like, okay, this is where we are at right now. And plus this is a custom app for just one merchant. So all I have to do really is just kind of give them this space where they can add things in. Create pre-orders, I need to have subtitle. Select products, assign, select products and add, select products, dates, and how much to put on pre-order. So I come in here, create pre-orders, select products, dates, and how much to put on pre-order. Okay, that's good. I now come in here. What I want to do here, what do I want to do here? Legacy card, title, developer, notes, li. Okay, create a, whoops. Create a resource picker with product and variants. Add a, do you want to add a data table or a index table? Let's see, data table. It sort will, I do not want them to select, do I want them to select multiple things? is another question. But now what I'm thinking here is to give them like a text field and a date picker at the end of it, so they can be like, okay, this is the date I want to start it from. But what I can also do is if I take a look at patterns and date picking. Now again, like this is like a really good area that you can kind of come in and then see like, hey, what do I want to do here? And they kind of give you the entire thing, which is again super great. I want them to have a date range. I think this makes more sense. So they can actually click on this. But then the thing is, I want it in part of now my only option then becomes I think this, yeah, this format makes more sense. Yeah, because now what happens is I can create them a data table. Actually, let's open it in a new page. So essentially what's going to happen is I can give them a data table. I can have them, so these two fields then become text fields with the date picking stuff. They can pick that, they can add in a number. Yeah, that's about it. So let's actually copy this. Good thing it's using a legacy card. Okay, but first let me kind of add in here. Add data table plus input field from Polaris patterns as PTDERNS as for date picker, name of product variant. Then I want to add in a text field plus date, text field plus date, and then pre-order quantity. So if they leave the pre-order quantity blank, it's immediately set to infinite. Or if they set it to actually, what do I want to give them? I'm pretty sure is infinite doesn't make sense. Yeah, I think in the schema it doesn't make sense to have is infinite. No, what did I do? What did I do? I killed ngrok by mistake. Now I have to restart the entire server. This npm run update URL clear npm run dev. Okay. A refresh would do. Okay, create a pair, new product, variant slash default. Do you want to show them price too? We don't do pre-order discounts, so it's not necessary. But let me add in. No, we don't do pre-order discounts because this is only for us to kind of figure out how much we want to order. Text, get this from Polaris as P. Data TB goes here. Now what I want to do is I want to create a date set dates equals use state. pre-order data, set pre-order data. So what I'm thinking about here is to have a state so I can save all of that content. Actually, you know what? Right, what I can do here is have a data table, pull in all of the stuff, and in the next page create a save. So I can just use ZooStan. What do I want to use ZooStan is another question. Okay, let's leave that for a little while. First, let's create all of the stuff. Either use ZooStan or pass. Actually, using ZooStan would be better. Use ZooStan to pass data to the other page and set up save from there. Yep. Now let's create a new component here. What did I create here? Alright, this was the... Okay, this needs to go. Okay, components, tables. Now I need to create pre-order, create data table for JSX. I don't want to do anything here right now. I want to pull in this data table. Const equals this. Probably gonna have props. Okay. Which means I can now import it here. Great. Let's remove this. That goes bigger. In my data table, I think I'm using this is also creating a new page. What I want to do here is create this in empty one. So I can just add in whatever I feel like. Also, I don't need the legacy card because this is already wrapped in a card. This makes it look better. Now, this pre-orders title can go too. So this becomes more beautiful. I don't need the totals. That makes it go away. Now, I want the titles to be all headings to be bold. So what I can do is, wrap it, text from Polaris, this, as P, and then font weight as bold. Yep, that fixes it. Okay, that makes it look much better. Though there is no other way to do it, at least as far as I know. Now, content types, numeric and text. Content would go smaller because it's gonna be product with its variant. You have the start date, you have the end date, and you have a product quantity. So this is actually numeric. No, but this will still be text. Yeah. So we can make this pre-order start date, pre-order end date, quantity, and this can go away. Now when it comes to the data, I need to remove one from everything so it starts looking better. Pre-order start date, pre-order end date. Okay, yeah, this needs to look a little better. What can I do with this? Makes it look better. Yeah, okay. Now, all of this content would... Oh god, I totally forgot about the resource picker. Okay. Oh no, but it's still fine. I need to push it. Hey, thanks, Omer. Always, like, I do a lot of this stuff because I love doing it. Plus, I've been doing this for a little too long now. So yeah, thank you for the nice words. Okay, so with the product, yeah, I just wanna be clear about how I want to display it. Yep, that would do, because there's a bunch of products that's yeah. Now what I want to do is $signs, y'all. Okay, so this, let's do this. Text field value. Let's just do a MMDD. Yup, that looks better. Let's copy that, paste that here. Yep. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all of that, go to the last one. Here I want a quantity. So what I can do is I can again put in a text field. Maxman, where is the type? Type number. Okay. So because of the type number, max length, make it 20. No, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, this wouldn't update right now. Cool. Yeah, so even here with all of these, I kind of want to add a type date. That fixes that. That's very Gucci of you. Yeah, this is looking good now. I am happy with this. Value, let's call it just 20 right now. 20 here, 1 here, and 10 here. Okay, let's actually see the data table. No, what I want to do is I want to get the text field and see how to set that. So here's the thing, a bunch of stuff, I honestly do not remember half the things. So what happens is I am usually looking at the documentation to see like, okay, hey, how do I wanna set this up? Also, I'm not too worried about how to use certain things because this is an app for a specific merchant. which means that I'm free to design based on how they want it. Connected fields with validation error. Yeah, this is not working properly with inline suggestions. Oh no, this will fuck it up. So if I come here, oh, it opens the default one, which is good. That actually takes care of the entire thing. So I don't have to create a new date picker. It just, yeah. Okay, wait, this is weird. How to hide the arrows on number input. Display or none. Like, you know, I do this a lot because I've just copy pasted it so many times. HTML to JSX. So what this does, it you can just throw in HTML and it'll style. Okay, so now this has given me what I wanted. Sure, like I can use the CSS, like that will work out perfectly fine, but I'd rather just do this. Oh god, why don't you want to work? Okay, now, no, it still doesn't work. Do I add it here? Actually, let's see if this would help. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go to _app and wrap this entire thing in this. Dude, go away. Yeah, I'm gonna deal with this later. I hate this, but okay. Actually, I can just convert this to a type text, but that would be weird because I want this to stay as type numbers. What else do I have? Integer? 1, 3, values 1. Like if I have them do it on mobile, this is supposed to be 10, and that value is now being hidden, which is something that I do not want. Let's actually see. No, do. I'm on the right, this thing, right? Yeah. Okay, last attempt right now. If not, I'm just gonna say screw it and we'll deal with this later. Nah, it is still. Should I ask GPT? Let's just ask GPT about this. Because I'm like, if this is not working, I'm just not gonna even bother. I want to hide arrows from Shopify Polaris text field component when using the number type, because on mobile it takes up a lot of space and shows only value at a time. While we are at it, how do I control the width of the text field without wrapping it in a div? Oh hey, finally they listened. I can now finally share. I think this is exactly what this thing gave me, no? Outer and inner spin button, yeah, that's exactly the same thing. And then Moz appearance is text field, yeah. Okay, you know what? I'm actually gonna pick this up and see if this would work. Because if this works, like I've done this in the past where uh, doing this has actually helped. Let's see if I do this. Oh, it works. Yes, thank God. So if I turn this to 10 pixies, yep, that does the job. 100 pixies, that forces it. Nope, doesn't look good. 150. Yeah, I think 150 just does a good job. Because then even when I come here, okay, this is exactly what I want. But I can also, if I do that, but why are you crying about this? Yeah, it's not gonna make any difference on this. Because if this is a thing that happens, I can assign an ID. Actually, no, first let's check if I can alright, integer. Do I style width no, outer width is 200 pixies? That doesn't do anything. But what about inner width? Nope, it doesn't do anything. So then the only thing that's remaining is to add an ID, because I don't think classes would work here either. Let's add an ID of pre-order number quantity form. So I kind of want it to be as descriptive as possible, so when I'm targeting it here, this is like very specific to kind of adding it on just that form. Yep, that works perfectly fine. Now instead of 150 pixies, I want this to be 100 pixies. Is that enough? Can I go smaller, 50 pixies? I think this works perfectly fine, because that gives you enough space on the end. Yeah, I'm happy with this. Also, it's kind of sucky that you have to do these hacks. Also, let's do this thing. This is not really required. Can I assign this just to this data table? Yes. Okay, now this works. Just, yep, now it shows exactly the quantities I want, and which means with Redify and git add, git commit, add data table plus custom CSS, git push, and it's this terminal window. Okay, so essentially what we've done is we've created the outer structure of how I want this to show up as. Also, what we have done is we've used HTML to JSX converter, which is like in transform.tools. We add in a style, and then that converts into a JSX friendly, like dangerously setting in our HTML. Again, I use a bunch of these tools because I cannot be bothered to wrap certain things in multiple divs, because that just creates unnecessary structure. So we have assigned an ID of pre-order quantity form with a width of 50. So in the data field, now this is set to 50, right? Because if I hide this, let's hide this. Apart from this looking extremely weird on mobile, this would break because it's not showing the entire thing. Like this is 20 and this is 10. But if I make it a little bigger, only then does it show up. If I add in a custom style, what's happening here is now it's forcing it to take a little more space, which means when the merchant's on mobile, they can actually see what's happening. Maybe I'll like push it to 60 just to be like a little more sure, because it's 10 pixies of padding. I'm not really too worried about it. Okay, so that data table is done. Now what I want to do, create a resource picker with data, add a data. This is done. Okay, so that's done. Let's push it completely down. Now I need to create a resource picker with product and variants. I want to create a new layout section. Yeah, let's actually do that. So what I can do here is create a new legacy card, title select products, which means on this, I mean, do I have to? No, what I can do here is instead of having multiple layout sections, I can legacy card dot section, legacy card dot section. But I have a, oh wait, I actually don't have it. Yeah, so this way I create a legacy card dot section. Let's create a dot section here too, so I get the full thing. And why is it doing this? What if we make it full width? What's it, flush, I think? Subdued section. Or would it be here? Yep, flush. Yep, okay, that takes care of that. Which means now I have that running in. Now here I create resource picker. Yeah. How is date picking? Kill that, kill that, kill that. Okay. Oh yeah, resource picker isn't here. Resource picker is average. Now we are here, React component. Now create new page, just pre-order resource picker. How do I name this? Pre-order. Yeah, so this is fine. What I want to do is I want to pull out the resource picker from app-based React. That gets the job done. I do not need provider. I do not need any cards or anything else. All I need is a resource picker. Resource type is product. And for open, okay, I need to create that. now the question is how show variants. Yes, I want to show variants. Move that. Okay, so while resource picker is here, let's add a resource picker. No, what is it named? Reorder resource picker. Okay. Where is this gone? Okay, so now here, what I can do is I can put a text field that takes up the full width. Let's open this up. I want a prefix or suffix. Yes. Let's actually add in a suffix. Label type value on change prefix. So suffix goes as search icon. No, then there should be a prefix. So it's very clear that we are actually allowing you to search here. How about let's just put in emoji right now so I can first see how I'm building it. Okay, so that looks good. What I can now do is create this into a component. So this goes as icon, import from Shopify Polaris icons, right? Icons. Search. Yep, search. Import search major. Okay, it's Polaris hyphen icons. Okay, cool. Now, source search major. Can't find variable search. What? Okay. Search minor, this looks better. Now what we can do is use a state. By default it's empty. Search text, set search text. Now the value on this is always search text. I want to add a placeholder. I don't want to add a placeholder. E console.log e. I almost never remember this. I remember this is going to be e.target. Oh no. Okay, that's perfectly fine then. Set search text as e. Huh. Oh right, I always use it as value. That makes sense. So now I have this, but now the moment this happens, const open resource picker set open resource picker equals use state. By default I want it to be false. Open resource picker. Now on change I want to set open resource picker to true. So the moment I start typing anything, it immediately opens it up. Okay, that's cool. Now what I want to do is on cancel set set open resource picker to false. So when I cancel it, okay, that's done. On selection right now, let's just console log it. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a mark here. Add functionality to pass this to the data table. Okay. Now what I want to do is, the moment I start like typing here, I want the resource picker to open and I want to have that text already. So initial query is search text. So now if I type in T, it's already there. U, it's already there. Yeah, so that gets the job done. I think we have a good, like, what do you think about this UI? Does it look good? I think it looks good. Of course, the developer notes is gonna go away, but like even on mobile, this has to be a little big. It just like, that's just how it is. But if I start typing anything, it's opening it up as the resource picker should. Console, add, yep, it's dot selection. So let's just actually do value dot selection here. Oh, that's another thing. So resource picker is now actually set to false. That's a weird bug. Okay, never mind. This should now throw me an object, which is good. What I can do is I can like make a new window object and store it there, but that would be like a really bad idea. What I want to do here, wait, but this should have triggered a new open. Okay, wait, also, this is why this is happening. So if I select a bunch of products and I add, and then yeah, now it's working fine. So the issue was on selection, you again need to kind of like disable the thing from open to close, otherwise it's just gonna break. I like this. This looks good. So I can now have this running in. Let me just prettify and save it. I'm just thinking, what else do I have to add in here? Coming back in, create a resource picker is also done, so we can move that. Name of product, variant, we can just delete this. I don't need this. Use this and pass other things, sort of save from there. Yeah, here I wanna add a new primary action equals content save on action. Yeah, so what I can also do is save content. Oh no, this would be make an API call to update pre-order products. So if I click, it shows me this, and then it takes me back to dotted. Actually, let me just mark dummy call, replace with actual fetch, const response equals success is true. That's how I build all of my APIs. So if response.success router.push back to home. So this goes here, I close this and it takes me back home. Cool. So this is done. So the end idea is I now have the entire UI kind of taken care of. All I have to do is add in functionality. Yeah, so it's just like all the functionality, I'm kind of like leaving it pending, but at the end of the day, now I have the entire kind of structure done in a sense. Now view and manage, let's call it view.jsx. Ah shit. Create page, pre-order view. This is gonna be a tough one to build. I mean, it's not really tough, it's just that I haven't thought about what I wanna add here. Const router equals use router. Okay, let's now think about this. So this is where title, view, and manage pre-orders. See new real-time analytics on pre-order sales and manage pre-order products. Again, like I'm not really too worried about giving them actual information here, because the idea here is pretty much just like to build it for a specific merchant, which means that I'm allowed to do whatever I want. If this was like a public app, I would be taking a very different approach to building this. So just kind of adding that in, legacy card, title, developer notes, section. What I want to do is this. Okay. I'm thinking what I want to add here, because this is about viewing and managing. Yeah, so what I can do here is I can create a secondary layout. I can create a legacy card, which legacy card dot section, make like 3 of those. Title, let's just add title here. Title summary. I'm kind of just thinking, okay, yeah. So here, what I can do is products on pre-order today. Products on pre-order, out of stock. and no, so I want to show out of stock here, and over here pre-order sales. Huh, this makes sense. So the idea here now becomes as P so what I can do here now, pre-order sales, I can just put like 20 and right next to it do NBSP as this, color as warning, I believe. No, critical. Does that make it red? Yeah, that makes it red. Also, why is it that way? Right. Horizontal stack. Yep. Now, up arrow. So what I'm doing here is I'm just copy pasting the arrow thing. I can just shut all of this down. Okay. So essentially what happens is I can now show the merchants this content directly. So pre-order sales is 20. We can be like, hey, you know what? This is like, we only did like 40 right now, which is like 20 down. Don't do, yeah, I want to do that. Out of stock is 10, which is like good. Oh yeah, I also have to wrap it in a horizontal stack. And let's wrap it into horizontal stack again. And here, products and pre-order 10, which is, I mean, if it's increasing, it's good. I like to think that, which means success. I'm just gonna like butcher that name, but thank you so much for the kind words. Like I'm just building this randomly. So, I mean, it's not a random build. It's just that I have nothing else to do right now, and I'm like, I need to like create some content for YouTube, and I just do not want to edit videos. So yeah. Okay. What I can do here. Now, if I'm a merchant and I want to come here, actually let's make this only as view. Keeping it view and manage is a bad idea. Analytics, view new real-time sales data on pre-order products. I'm thinking, what do I want to do here? So I need to add in a different manage space, which means in my index, I need to remember to add this setup analytics page and setup manage pre-orders page. So I'm kind of updating it over here, and even this view and manage needs to become just view. Oh no, this needs to become manage. Oh god. And this is actually the analytics page, which means this view becomes analytics.jsx, and this is analytics slash actually JSX. Did I not save that? Okay. Yeah. Okay, we are in the right path. View near real-time sales data on this, which means on components. What I want to do is I want to create analytics slash data table.jsx. I'm thinking, what is another source of information that would be really valuable here? Sortable, do I want to spend the time to make it sortable? Yeah, I want it to be with a footer, with totals and footer, no, with row heading links. Yeah, I mean, I would need that, but I can just create a new, yeah, with footer is the one I can just like copy paste right now. So this would be analytics data table const this equals export default this. Okay, which means now when I come back here, analytics data table, let's actually just kill all of this, and then here we can call it analytics data table, and the table pops in here. Now back in, yeah, correct, back in here I want to delete that, delete this, delete that, that makes it feel much better. Legacy card, this section goes away, so it's more full screen. Now in footer content, showing last 10 pre-orders that, now showing last 10 orders that contain an item on pre-order. So the idea here is, in the analytics area, even though I know like the developer nodes is like taking up a lot of space, let's just actually hide this for a second here. So the idea here that I'm trying to build out is, as a merchant, when I come into my analytics, I have a quick summary on the side. Like, I have a habit of creating this. Almost every app that I have designed, I have a summary or some sort of a section on the side, because if we take a look at, again, there's a bunch of good practices that are available in patterns. So if you come in here, in resource details layout, you can literally like copy paste this into a component, and you can see, in fact, you know what, let me just copy this. Getting a little off track here from the whole management, because this manage thing now, oh yeah, this needs to be manage, sorry. Okay, manage, yeah, so now here what I can do is paste the entire thing. It's actually crying because there's a bunch of things that you still have to fix, like it doesn't have any imports. So you're gonna have to do your imports yourself, which I feel like is a little irritating, because if you're giving me patterns, I expect you to kind of build it in a way where I can just kind of copy paste it with all the imports in. So we're gonna do is we're gonna start importing things. I need a page, I need horizontal grid, I need vertical stack, I need a card. Oh wow, you're using card instead of legacy card. That's weird. or it should be alpha card, maybe, I don't know. Box bleed skeleton display text. Box bleed skeleton body display text. Import this from Shopify Polaris icons. And now it's going to cry about a bunch of things, so it's going to like take a second before we can archive minor. Hey error, how you doing? It's gonna now start crying about imports. So as it like starts crying about new things, I'm just gonna start adding them in. Divider. Now cry about something new, so I can add that in. Skeleton body text. Okay. Please cry about something new. Like, this is a game I love to play. Oh, it showed up. Card is weirded out. Am I on the older version of Polaris? 10.49.1 npm.js Shopify Polaris 10.491. Let's see, what do you have here? 10.491. Oh, it's on. Wait, it's on version 11 already. But then what? Oh god, it's gonna have a bunch of breaking changes that I do not. Okay, it just came out yesterday. Updated Polaris. Okay. Change breadcrumbs in action since only one is supported. Remove deprecated prop. Okay, remote support multiple versions. Tab stack. Replaced card with alpha card. Okay, it feels like it's safe to update. I'm just gonna break a bunch of stuff right now. Like, I know that for a fact. So this is gonna also fix itself. So Prisma client, Shopify app, CLI. Polaris is the only one with a bunch of breaking changes. Oh god, but I'm like so sure I'm gonna break something or the other somewhere, and I'm a little scared about it. Even though it's just UI stuff, it shouldn't be that bad. Yeah, so it's like when it comes to all of this, you can just directly copy paste and play the import scheme. And once you play the import scheme, you have like this entire thing available to you. Though I really wish they also give you like a Polaris version and imports available too, along with the default export, or at least like add export here. But like this page is now like in your app. So if you wanted to update this, you can just kind of copy paste and start building from here. I'm just gonna leave this here. Like, I don't really care. We're gonna like swap this out anyways. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. So with this one, I click back. Oh yeah, this. Let's just not do that, please. Yeah. All I'm gonna do here is bounce router, use router, and instead of the URL on action, router.push/. Yep, so I can kind of now navigate pretty easily, so that's taken care of. But yeah, like if you feel like you need ideas on layout, you can always use Shopify Polaris patterns. The only problem is you have to play a lot of the import game, which I just played, and also have to see if you're on the right version. But they're constantly adding in a bunch of new stuff, which is always great. And of course, there's like a lot of just why is this broken? There's also a lot of explanation on why are we using certain things. So a bunch of the layouts that I create comes from that, or like when you see this pattern, right, where you see me like, hey, why are we doing this on the side? If I, let's say, create a new discount, you're gonna have this summary on the side. I love this. I always do this. So I am usually trying to copy. Uh, I'm not even gonna say inspired. I just straight up copy a bunch of elements and then modify based on how I want it to be, because that is the one thing that makes sense to me. So yeah, like if you ever need, like, okay, hey, what am I supposed to do here? Just pull out one of the patterns and start building it from there. Okay, now here, what do I want to add here? I want auto. I want its total price. I want its date. I'm thinking what other information would be good. Pre-order quantity. I want its... Okay, I was just confirming if my audio is working right now. I think this should be enough. So I can just... Oh god, this is gonna break it. So this happens and then this happens and it should be fine. Yeah, you just need to go. Should I show a total? I do not want to show a total. That's too much work. Now what I can do here, is copy this, add in a dot there, add in a dot here, add in a dot here, copy this. Okay. Combine that. Let's wrap it in text from Polaris. Copy this because this is supposed to be going at the end. Text as P. And now font weight is bold. Right. Now I delete this and I delete this and it looks perfect. Great, now that that's done, I need to tell it what the types are. So I'm gonna be, let's make this also text, pre-order quantity. Actually, it should be date, order, total price and pre-order quantity. Pre-order items. Order ID. So this text, numerics. Okay, this works out. Now I can make it y mmdt 3. Let's just make it all just one date. So one of the reasons why I do this because I want to visually see how it's looking like. 1, 2, 3, 4. But another thing that I want to do here is make this into a link component. On click, I think, yep. So on click, I'm gonna alert them, take to admin, right? Pre-order items 2, total price. Oh, this becomes a, oh no, but this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. Now just a bunch of variations. This is I should just probably use GPT to do this, but I'm too lazy to do that right now. Okay, we have a question in the chat. Hi, in theme app extension is a way to import external libraries for design instead of using regular React templates given by Shopify. Can we use Next.js templates? So, Manish, here's the question. Why, like, what are you trying to do? Because, like, all these years, I haven't come across a point where I'm like, hey, I like need this sort of availability. So it's not just about, hey, can I do this? It's about what are you exactly trying to do? Because from the sounds of it, it feels like you are mostly over engineering. One, 8, 6, 8, 4, 7, 3, 7, 2. I mean, this is one of the most boring parts. I know I'm just like I completely went silent there, but to me, it's really important to do this. Otherwise, I lose the whole concept of visualizing how it's gonna look like. It still feels a little empty, but I'm willing to be okay with it. Like I can live with this. But then another thing is, what if I make this also as text? And this also has text. Now this also means in my schema, in my orders, instead of just ID, order ID and that, I also need to book in total price. Default is $0.0.00. I hope that doesn't break anything. Actually, why even store dollar? Because I know the whole thing. Yep, and like using theme extension, I'm trying to create a pop-up design and notification so that we can use external libraries for that design. Manish, here's the thing. You do not need React or Next.js for it. If you like really want it, and honestly, I feel like you're over-engineering it. You should not be doing that in the first place, because theme app extensions, if it slows down too much, you are losing your ability to come on to this, what do you call it, built for Shopify, because I'm like a bajillion% sure you're not going to optimize it properly. And I know that because of the questions you're asking. What you can do is, because theme app extensions can be, like, as long as they follow the proper format, they can just be thrown in anywhere. So what you can do is use Webpack and compile it so that it kind of like works. And you can write your own Webpack configuration. I'm not going to give anything to you in that sense, because like it's a very clear case of over-engineering something. And again, this is not something very specific to you, but I get questions like this a lot. It's a bunch of devs who never studied the basics of the whole thing, and like if you don't learn the basic of JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, and you directly jump onto React and frameworks, you are gonna have a very difficult time. So when you are kind of going around and over engineering stuff like this, not only you're hampering the merchant and how do I put it? You may or may not be hampering the merchant's entire store, because you have created a solution. While it works, it is a bad solution. The idea for that is, if it's too heavy, it's not worth it, right? Because that's how we use all of our apps. I rarely use an app from a developer that I don't know. So what ends up happening is, let's say you created a Next.js thing and you're like, hey, I'm just gonna, even though you shouldn't be doing it with Next.js, you should use React. If you really want to build it, use Vue instead, because Vue will still give you, Vue is still like over engineering, but use Vue. You have more knowledge base articles and all of that stuff available, more supports available out there. Just use plain HTML, CSS, and vanilla JavaScript, my guy. Like, not even jQuery. All of my work, I don't even use jQuery. I am just like, dude, just throw in JavaScript, vanilla JavaScript for that matter. But yeah, just to answer your question, you're over engineering. You can just use Webpack and get that done. So analytics page is done. Set up pre-order, manage. Okay. Because here's the thing about building applications, like not just any SaaS app, but SaaS in terms of e-commerce, is because in the e-commerce space, you can't mess up, right? Like, the only reason why I'm creating this pre-order app is because the developers who I know that create that pre-order app messed up, right? My merchants hire me. I need to send me a turkey sandwich. Why? Okay, so coming back to it, like, your merchants are relying on you to help them make money, right? And a lot of times that comes down to engineering solutions really well and understanding what you're actually doing. So it's like the entire reason why I'm creating this app in the first place, I shouldn't be creating this, but the developers that I know and I relied on always are at a point where they're like, hey, it's just terrible to do this. We don't want to do this, XYZ. And I was like, you need to figure out how to make the app work properly. And they're like, so there is a new theme where we're just redesigning the entire store. It's been over 4 weeks at this point where we have been working with this developer of the app. And they're like, yeah, dude, it's not possible until you publish it. But we can't go live because there's a lot of stuff on pre-order. So, and it doesn't make sense because I know how they've programmed it. I've personally contributed to their code under a contract. So it's like, I know how it works. And I'm like, you do not need to do that. So if any external developer now hampers my merchant's ability to put food on the table, I'm like, dude, you are out. And we had a conversation about this. I'm like, I'm going to throw you out over the weekend. And not only from that one merchant, but from all of my merchant stores. So yeah, like, sure, you can use React. Like, even here, I can use a bunch of like really complicated things, but all I'm doing is using meta fields and kind of updating things on the front end, so that the product customizer app, where the developer was like, hey, if you give me this kind of access, I'm just gonna make it work. So both the developers need to work together. Now the pre-order app developer doesn't want to cooperate, so I'm like, hey, you know what, screw you, I'm just gonna build it my own. And I'm gonna finish this build like tomorrow. It's like 1:30 in the morning for me. Hey Adrian, how you doing? I'm gonna finish it's 1:30 for me, so I'm just gonna finish up the UI. I'm gonna hook up all of the functionality in the morning. But yeah, my guy, like, if you are not, like, if you do not understand that your merchants are now relying on you to help them put food on the table, it's gonna be very difficult for you to make it out alive. like being successful on the Shopify App Store right now is very easy in the sense is because most people don't come in with clear basics. But yeah, I can like rant about it the entire day. Uh, and like I feel like one of the only reasons why my merchants like to work with me is I'm like, hey, let's keep things as native as possible. I do not want to add any unnecessary apps. Uh, I have a bunch of components that we can just kind of reuse. And yeah, I mean, like, that's about it. Because now you'll see a lot of bigger brands go from headless to Shopify native. That's because they realize that, okay, hey, there's no point of going headless. And with Online Store 2.0, I get all of that stuff. Like, back if Online Store 1.0 was still the norm, I would be like, hey, we need to go headless. But right now, it doesn't make sense. So, like, there's a bunch of rants I can go on right now. But I'm just gonna spare y'all that thing because this is supposed to be a chill stream where I'm like, hey, this is how I build apps. Get a summary of your pre-orders and get a list of orders with pre-order products. I need to add a BR, otherwise it's not gonna look. Can you just work, please? Okay, that looks good. I hate this. I hate the fact that it auto resizes and I have to like add multiple BRs or figure out how do I want to do that. Okay, anyways, setting up managing pre-orders. This is not the page. If you're just joining in, this is where I was showing how can you use Polaris patterns. But let's delete this page. So create new page, pre-order manage. I have to refresh this. So while that happens, back action, content, home, on action, router.push / const router equals use router. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. Yep, this looks good. Title, manage pre-orders, subtitle, view pre-orders that are now already configured to be on the order. Okay. Primary action here. Update. Do I want it to be update? Now what I can also need to do is layout section, legacy card. I hope. Okay, yeah, I mean, it's not. Okay, now what I wanted to do. Okay, thanks for the response. And what else? I have registered free webhooks in development when I close my laptop, local development, and turns it on back. The registered webhooks are. I think you just pressed enter preemptively. But yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about. That after you kill ngrok and then when you come back to it, it doesn't seem to work. So if you pull out one of, why do I not have the back button here? Oh, okay. I think because of the update that would have killed. I have breadcrumbs here, right? Back action. Yeah, this will fix it. Oh my god. Okay, I can just like quickly update that. Okay, this is done. Dev notes, get data, and the index. Yeah. So when you come to webhooks, you can actually like make a quick GraphQL call. Fail to give payload because of that, and it really install. So you do not really need to reinstall. So I'm going to show you this, right? My current this thing is 73B5. Okay. It's 73B5. What's going to happen is when I kill ngrok and I run npm run ngrok again, let's kill the server. Now it's 773D, right? npm run update URL. Oh god, I didn't update it there. Sorry, hold on. Right, sorry. Let's run npm run URL update again. Pure npm run dev. Okay, so now what's going to happen is our URL changed from 73B5 to 773D, right? Now when I refresh this, what's going to happen is while you have updated your URL, you haven't really updated the entire app, so to speak. It's still 73B5. What you want to do is you have to go through the auth process again. Now in this sense, if I was pushing it in an app, or if my URL updated, what I would do is, like in the active webhooks, what I'm doing here is I'm making a fetch. Where am I making the fetch to? To active webhooks. Okay. Now what I'm doing is here I am pulling out all of the first 25 webhook subscriptions. What you can do here is you can create a quick utility component and see if the URL matches your current URL. An easier way to do this, and this is like something that I do all the time. Well, not all the time. It's very rare for me to kind of go in and do this. I'll have to open Prisma Studio. So a cheeky hack. Now I don't know what repo you're using, but again, this is something in my repo. And if your sessions don't work this way, you have set up sessions wrong. You can kind of go in and check how I've set up sessions. All the links to my open source repositories are in the description. Wait, let me check that too. Yeah, so in open source, you have the Next.js, which is the one that I'm using right now, MongoDB, and the Shopify Polaris Playground. What you can do is every single time you create a new session, you get the online and the offline session both. So if you get the online session and you delete it, let's just delete the offline session too, right? So at this point of time, what happened to this? Okay, let's delete. Let's see. It's still saving changes. That's why. Okay, so I have now nothing here. Now what happens is, if you've set up everything properly, whenever you do anything, it's going to be like, hey, I didn't find a session, and it's going to re-auth the entire thing again. So now what you're going to see is it redid all of the webhooks. On the right hand side, you can see it like, hey, I updated all of the stuff. And when you now come back in, I'm going to go back to that screen where you have this in webhooks. Now you're going to see this is updated, right? It's now 773D. So the entire idea here is you can delete your online session tokens and force the merchant to re-auth. This was pretty slow because we are in dev mode and I'm streaming, so there's a lot of breakage happening everywhere, which slows everything down. But when you're in production mode, it just works flawlessly. So if you want to do that, either that is one way, or what you can do is whenever you update your URLs, just run through auth again. Like, let me just show you that too. So right now we are on 773D, right? So it's 773D. I'm going to kill ngrok. I'm going to run npm run ngrok again. Now it's ff. So I can just copy paste this. I can copy the entire string. Clear npm run ngrok. Oh shit. Clear npm run update URL. So now what essentially happens is you just get the auth stuff again. Clear npm run dev, and just go through auth again. So it won't actually like give you any prompts. It'll just run through auth, re-update all of your webhook URLs, and bring you to the home screen again. Again, we have a bunch of these issues where it's super slow because I'm streaming and I'm in dev mode, so there's like a bajillion processes running. But this is like the moment your merchant opens the app, it's just seamless, right? And now earlier we were on like what, 7.7, and now because we have gone through auth again, now it's FFE3, which is the updated one. So yeah, it's failing to give you the right webhooks, mostly because your URL has changed and that URL doesn't exist anymore. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Manage. Okay. Actually, let me just make a checkpoint. Commit stash changes git push. Okay, now what do I want to show here? A search bar. I also want to show a data table. And I want things to be sortable. What do I want them to be sortable? No, I want to use the search components. Okay, so what do I mean by data table components or search components here? So first, I'm not going to throw in the entire thing here, so don't worry. Let's come on components, pre-order. Instead of create, we are right now on manage. So we create a data table here. Let's come back, data table. Okay, let's just copy this entire thing, paste it in. We're gonna have to rewrite this. Const pre-order manage data table equals this export default this. Okay. Now in my manage, I can pre-order manage data table. Kabam. Okay. We're gonna remove this because we don't need it. We're gonna use sections here. So in the first section, I want to add in that. I want to add in flush, so it's full width. And here, I want to add in a huge search bar. I was building the app and making requests from Polaris to backend node through API, and Shopify was giving me course error. Do you know why does that happen? Aero, I have zero idea about your stack and like what stuff you're using. But one way, again, like if you want to make requests back, I have a hook created for it. Again, you can just pull it out from my stuff. You need to use the authenticated fetch that as an instance. So you can head over to my repos. It's all open source. Head into components hooks, the use fetch, and you can just kind of copy paste this in. You might want to update line number 20, which is on exit frame. But if you're using the official one, I feel like exit frame should do just fine. So you shouldn't be too worried about that, but yeah, you might want to take a look at that. Have you already developed something for checkout? Do you know if it's possible to insert a date picker at checkout via the app? I have developed a bunch of stuff. A lot of my merchants are on Shopify Plus. Uh, Actually, about the date picker, I'm pretty sure something is possible. Because Matthews, again, another thing is test it out, right? Checkout blocks is like the best app in terms of the checkout thing. Does he have anything for date picking? Yeah, I can't see anything on the thing. Okay, what we can also do is go to Shopify. Where is the... Well, I have so much stuff here. Oh yeah, now here's the thing. I'm gonna put this in chat. What I can do is, this is a GPT based stuff where you can just ask it questions. So what I can do is, can I add a date picker and checkout extension using checkout extension? Now you can't just randomly ask it questions. You need to be a little more specific. It's really good. The URL is in the chat. Okay, let's see if it's the right one. Customizing Shopify checkout, date picker. Oh yeah, new UI components. April 2023, they added those new components. Here's the thing. Read your documentation. I mean, I would have honestly just come in here and be like, okay, where it is. But since I know a bunch of this stuff already exists, creating a UI, yeah, so it just gives you some more stuff where you can be like, hey, this is how you create all of these things. Also, yeah, this is plus only, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's plus only. Getting started with custom fields. So you might want to be a little more careful about who you are targeting with this app, but yeah. Also, another thing is tools like this are really great. I don't know who built them. It just says Kappa widget. Kappa.ai, right? Kappa? Yes, I mean, if you like it, you can just kind of request access, support them. It's kapa.ai. Really love their work. Again, the URL is in the chat, so you can just kind of pick it up from there. Always Matthews. Yeah. Sorry, where was I? I totally forgot what I was doing. Okay, yeah, I was here. And now in the data table, remove the page. See, I mean, one of my pet peeves is people don't read the documentation, and that really pisses me off. Because I'm okay, again, Matthews is not specific to you. I'm just saying in general. A lot of the questions that I am asked, I'm if you read the documentation, you can just find it, right? And they're like, oh, well, I never did that. I'm please read the docs. It's absolutely necessary to do that. Okay. No, I don't wanna do this. Date, no. I wanna be here. I wanna go to create and pull this from here. Yeah, so this doesn't make sense. I wanna create product. I wanna create reorder start date. Now, why did I delete all of it? Pre-order end date. What else is there? What was I thinking? I was reading the chat and I got totally active. I also want to let them do the whole active thing, right? That's what I was thinking about. Okay, let's go back to am I on double? Yeah, I'm on double. Okay. I hate that sometimes you just have to do a bunch of stuff over and over again. Text. I want to use the Polaris one. Oh no, don't do that. As P font weight bold. Okay. How do you add this? Right. Okay, that looks good. Product pre-order start date, pre-order end date, and is it active? Okay. Do you know how extra product options app works? Like they don't make the new product after adding the priced variant to the existing product. So what's now one thing is you can reverse engineer this if you're looking at your console logs. Manish, I'll come to yours too. Wait. So this is Sync Style. This is where I buy all of my beard care products from. No, they don't have it on this right now. Also, they were on Shark Tank here in India, so that was also great. Who else offers this? Edo, can you give me an example of a store that uses extra product options? Like any store that uses it. So yeah, I'll just like show you. Manish, in Cart API payload, it contains the cart related details, but it doesn't have the customer details. Is there a way that we can able to find that cart belongs to one particular customer? It's tricky. There's a lot of interception that's required. I do not recommend messing around with it. But if you must, what you can do is, again, this requires you to understand how Shopify works. Like, again, in general rant, a lot of people just are like, hey, I don't really need to know. Be like, no, you actually need to understand this. What's happening is every single time, let's go to this. And it's just like, because I know what I'm looking for, I can just be like, hey, you just need to do this and it's done. The moment I do add to cart, there is add to JS that's done. And this is what's making a post request. And so if you were to see the response, where is this gone now? Oh no, it will be in the cart. Shit. Cart.js, right? So now here you have the entire content. Where is it gone? Oh my god. Okay, let's do this. Let's actually view the cart. Why can't I view? Wait, is this frozen? Okay, it froze. I need to sit with him and fix this. Okay, now let's inspect element, come over to network. Let's make sure we are preserving the logs. Let's clean this out. And over here, where's the checkout button, my guy? Wait, I think is my browser acting weird, or is that an actual bug that I need to debug? Yeah, it's just Safari being Safari at this point. Yeah, it's Safari just breaking. Sorry about that. But yeah, you can just take a look at the cart response and you can see all of the stuff there. What you want to do is, as they're adding to cart, you want to add a pixel there and hijack the cart and pass that. So in the back, you have some sort of an identifier on how you want to do it. It's very irritating. Like that's what I'm gonna say. Like it's very irritating to get that done. And it's very irritating to get that done right, because there's a lot of other apps that will compete with you to get that information. Victor, hey man, what is the required knowledge that developers should know before he can start creating Shopify apps? I can't like put enough emphasis on this, but learn basic HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, then learn Liquid, mess around with Dawn, see how that works. Uh, Pretend you are creating a new store and like set up your entire Shopify store end to end, right? So the first idea is you want to understand your stack really well. You want to understand Shopify as a platform really well, and only then do you want to make a call on what do you want to do. There's also this, which is the Shopify Foundation certification. Like at my level, because I've been doing this, like I've been doing Shopify for forever at this point. I always say 6 years, but I know it's been like 8+ years since I'm doing this. Do this entire thing. Like you need to understand how POS functions, how themes work, how Liquid does. You want to have like a complete overview on what is happening, like what is the platform that you're working on. You do not want to be like, hey, I want to do this. What APIs do I use? And just like throw it out there. You want to first either become a merchant or you want to work with a merchant, understand what it is like to be a merchant. That's the whole idea, right? So it's like understand your tech stack, figure out what it is like to be a merchant, and then be like, okay, this is a problem that I see and I want to fill that hole. It could be finding decent developers who understand CRO, SEO, how to work with themes, or it could be, hey, I just want to create new apps. Either ways, you have to have, number one, a really good understanding of how Shopify works as a platform. And the second thing is you really want to understand how a merchant functions, because you can think, oh, the merchant would want this, but a merchant would want completely opposite things. That's where you create a clash. So if you're working with merchants regularly, you have a product market fit like right from day one. Like think about this, I'm creating a pre-orders app right now, right? I can tell you this for a fact because these are my merchants and they allow me to reuse all of the code. I have it in the contract with them. They're just like, do whatever you want to do with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally gonna convert this into a public app, have it passed on the App Store, push it out to a bunch of people like, hey, I have an app to sell, and sell this app. So not only are the merchants paying me, which is, by the way, they're paying me less money because I'm going to make more money from selling the app. So you're going to have to figure out how do you want to do this. It's a very delicate this whole thing about like, okay, this is how I want to go about building apps. Aero, by the way, the URL didn't come through, so can you like break the URL and send that in, please? You're mentioning on WebPixel extension to get the customer details, is that right? Not exactly. You could just generate a UUID and pass it on. You do not have to create a pixel. But then again, I haven't... Actually, you know what? Let's ask the AI tool because I want to see if there is a better way to do that. Yeah, Victor, that's completely fine. Hey, Bads, how you doing? How do I identify? How do I find what user's cart is it? I think it should understand. Oh, right. Now the storefront API is available. So you can just use the storefront. Oh my God, Manish. Thanks for reminding me. Hold on. Let me also write it in my diary. I mean, well, not in my diary. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, oh shit, I need to go into the hidden secret mode first. Okay. Sorry, I'm just opening a bunch of stuff that I can't actually expose, which is why we have the secret tab. Okay. Yeah, so this is my Discord. I have this RSS bot that kind of like sends in all of the stuff. Actually, you know what? Let me take this moment to promote my Twitter. It's twitter.com/king. Follow me, please. Yeah, so very recently Shopify pushed out Storefront API, which is now available to non-channel apps. So the entire idea here is you can find out whose card it is by using the card buyer identity API. So actually, let's open this up. So you can create a cart and update it. So here, I believe you can just kind of quickly tap into this. Yeah, so what you can do is you can assign an attribute here. So you can generate a UUID. Oh god, this is very weird. You can just generate a new UUID or any sort of customer this thing. But then I feel like there's no point of doing it in customer like a UUID. What you can do is you can use the customer ID as an attribute, and then from your app pull it and like pass it to your app proxy route and store it in the DB. So later you can be like, hey, this cart is this person's, and then you can use the customer ID to pull all of the information of the customer. But then again, please be very sure that you're only using the customer data that's actually necessary and not unnecessarily pulling up a bunch of stuff and storing it. You have to be like really aware that you're dealing with sensitive data. So yeah, just that's just there. So yeah, Manish, thanks for reminding me that Storefront API is now available. I'm gonna like have a lot of fun with that. I totally forgot that, even though I wrote it, and I'm like, that's a good thing. Yeah, like that's one thing. Okay, so that's done. Totals can just go away. Now here, and I can just delete this. Start date, end date, I can delete this. Yeah, now it's perfectly fine. Okay, actually let me pull data from our create data table. Const rows, please work out of the box. Can't find variable text. I hate my life. Never mind. So this is product one, variant one, variant two. Okay, we got a start date, active. You know what? We can modify this in one shot. So we're gonna just call it Rue. Like, let it be true right now. We'll add in a badge on this in just a second. Now because the $sign is there, I can convert this to this. 2023 03 04 02 20. $301. Let's just make it all 01. Okay, so that happens, and then for my is active, what I want to do is I want to pull in a badge. So let's make it false. But now the thing is, do I want to allow the merchant to, yeah, I want it to be a toggleable state. Do we have something for toggle? Settings toggle. Oh my god, that's gonna be irritating. Okay, let's see if we have a component available. If not, we're just gonna figure out something. Yeah, we're gonna be using badge, so let's kind of pull out badge. Let's see. I mean, I can just give them a clickable button, no? Settings, but it doesn't hit the mark. There is no like toggle here. Yeah, but then, so the problem here is, if let's just actually mess around with one. Let's do this. If I add in a button here, right, and I make it like say a primary button, and then if it's not it, so it just is too much. Like, it doesn't feel like it belongs here. Badge, BADGE, badge. Can't find variable badge. Oh no, it can find it. Thank God. Okay, let me just kind of copy this. Now, children progress status, attention, no, critical, yes. So this can go critical, and this can go critical. Now turn on, instead of turn on, I can be like active. Actually, let's convert this to success too. Now another thing is, I do not just want to show that. What I also want to do is I want to turn inactive into a warning. No, this would be an info, right? What's the yellow one? Attention? Attention. Inactive. But if it's critical, even though it's a good thing that it's critical, out of stock. So essentially the idea is, a product can have three states. One, it's active, the other is inactive, which means if a product is active, I'm telling the merchant, okay, hey, you know, everything's good to go. Inactive means you have yourself stopped it. But if it's out of stock, that means that if you told me that, okay, hey, app, I am allowing you to sell about 10 of these extra, but at this point we've already sold 10. This should be a good thing. Be like, hey, we had 10 things on pre-order, we sold the entire thing on pre-order, which is like absolutely stupendous. That's what you want. But here I just want to let them know that, hey, it's out of stock, so you can add more. I think that's the right thing to do. Anyways, now the thing is, I also want this to have like a manage mode. I think manage mode, like calling it a manage mode, makes it feel very weird. Also, yeah, I do not want a text field here. I don't know what I was thinking about this. Okay, back to data table. Where is the custom tools heading? Dude, where is the custom tools heading? Oh, is that only available in... Oh, you know what? We don't need a data table here. We need an index table here. That's what the problem is. This is what we needed all along. What was this called? Pre-order managed table const. This breaks. This export default. This. TypeScript. Why do you have to give me? Actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna spend time on this. I'm just gonna be like, hey, Jupyter, can you convert this TypeScript code to JavaScript, please? Thank you. Like, I'm literally not even gonna spend time on this. I'm just like, hey, here's the thing, get it done. Also because like right now we are just creating the UI shell. I'm not really too worried about setting literally anything up. I'm more worried about having a structure that my brain can now comprehend. This. I can see some apps are able to use the deep link to enable the embed block using toggle button, turn it off. In my case, I tried the same thing, was reading to the theme customization page. Yeah, but that's how it works. It takes you to theme customization and then you have to manually enable or disable it. Does it work? It works! And I have deep link to act as a toggle button. I haven't personally used it. Like, as far as I know, if you click on it, it opens a theme customizer with your app block kind of there, but I don't know if you can like use it to like toggle stuff. Just notice that you read documentation from Polaris Shopify. If I am not wrong, Polaris sounds like a framework with best practices that allows you to simplify Shopify dev. So Victor, here's the thing. All of these components that you see come from Shopify Polaris, right? I do not create my own table. I just import the index table and all of the props that it provides. So what essentially ends up happening is, oh, you know what, bro? Sorry, I just got a little excited about this. Hold on. JS docs. I totally forgot about it. Can you convert this to, oh yeah, to JavaScript with JS docs, please? Yes. Save and submit. So we can now maintain all of the yeah, so now we can maintain all of the type safety from this. Okay, I'm gonna let it generate. Yeah, but as far as Polaris is concerned, what you want to do is from day one, you want to make sure that your app feels like it belongs. Oh God, this is too much. I do not want to see this. Sorry, you want to make your app feel like it actually belongs in the admin, right? That's like the number one thing. In fact, if you want your app to be in the built for Shopify range, I feel like it's a necessary thing, but I haven't seen any apps using their own UI language, because at the end of the day, if you're creating an embedded app, you want to feel as native as possible. Polaris has some limitations. Like right now, we don't have a selection toggle, right? I'm gonna probably have to create mine and then make sure that it feels like it belongs there. But then if you think about it, you are then kind of being forced to think, be like, do I really want a toggle there, or do I want to rethink the entire idea and be like, maybe I should like redo my entire UI so that yeah, bro, screw this. Sorry. I got so excited to be like, oh, we finally got to use JS docs. No, not happening. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, like you just want to use Polaris. Like, again, to be honest with you, one of the reasons why I usually rely on Polaris, the documentation has gotten so much better. You have access to patterns, so I showed it off before. You can just kind of come to patterns, be like, hey, I want to. One that I opened that just breaks. They haven't updated resource index layout, but yeah, you can just like, here is all of the code. Once you figure out the imports, you have this page directly available, right? So you don't have to think about how you want to build things. You just want to be like, hey, here's Polaris, bam, 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 call it a day. Another thing is, if you're looking for stuff like, hey, how do I figure out how I want the app to look and feel, just copy the admin. Like, do not think about it too much, right? Like, you see this component, this is exactly this component, right? So what's happening here is you now feel like, okay, the app actually belongs here. So it needs to be so good that it feels like it was actually built by Shopify. Like, that's how I like to think about this. Be like, if a merchant mistakes your app, be like, hey, I thought it was a Shopify app and not an external app. Bam, you've won. I'm gonna write this thing, right? Yeah. So that's essentially what you're kind of always going for. I hate how much code's in here. Okay. All stock. We'll make this active. We'll make this inactive. For closed, what we can do is we can go out of stock. Yeah. Just click on that always. So now all active, inactive, out of stock. Again, this is one of those times where you're like rethinking the entire UI, and that's where you're like, oh, hey, you know what? This would be really good. Like, because now here I can just add in filters. Yeah. So this is add filters account tagged with, okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna make a bunch of changes here. I'm just gonna, where is that thing? Okay. Yeah, I do not want to use this. What I want to do is convert this into a text. So this would be manage pre-orders, which means we have the product name here. We have the pre-order start date. We have the pre-order end date. And we have status. Let's also have available quantity. Let's have current stock. Pre-orders. Available quantity. I think that's what we want to do. No, I want to remove the current stock because pre-orders almost always kick in once. Yeah, let's actually go back and come back here. Yeah, nah, this is correct. Oh God, why do they have to do this? Okay, so this is a product. Oh shit, okay. So I'm going to put in the product name here, but instead of making it so complicated, I'm just going to make it simple text, because it doesn't make sense to have it so highlighted. So you have the ID, the product. We want it to be 0403. 20. Status. Ooh. So if I remove this, that goes away. And for my status, I want this, but I also want this here. Bro, swap out. Okay. Available quantity, I'm gonna do 10. Status paid. Now, progress is complete. No. Oh yeah, this is progress. Success. Active. I think I'm taking up like a lot of memory right now. My CPU's 18-20%. Oh yeah, this is on like 11.5 gigs. Node. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. So I'm not updating any of this thing here. I'm just adding in a bunch of variability to this. That goes there. I want a bunch of successes to be warning. Out of stock. Yeah, but then let's have it mix in info, inactive. Nah, it's not info. What was the thing? Critical new success warning. No, it wasn't warning. Critical? Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna take a look at docs because playing this game is weird. Attention. I was seeking attention all this time. Okay, this page is really heavy. Now the question comes is, if this page is so heavy, like this is why you develop it like this, because at this point of time, I'm not even doing anything. It's just copy pasting from the official thing and pushing it up. So if I create a new Vercel instance, do I have a Vercel instance? Okay, hold on. I need to see if my Vercel instance is up. Yeah, I need to create a new project. env. So database URL is where it's supposed to be. Shopify app URL needs to be updated. This is gonna end up being this. Yeah, I can deploy this. Okay, so while that is being deployed, I can bring it back here. Okay, so this feels like it's a very heavy page. I like the look of it. I am just not sure if it will be this heavy once it's up, because if it's acting weird here, it's gonna act weird everywhere. So now that this section is done, I can just remove that. With the home, there's a bunch of other stuff that we're gonna kick in, but not right now. So I am not really worried about this. Npm run pretty, git add, git commit, finish up UI mostly, git push, exit. Are you deployed? Please deploy already. Actually, we need to deploy it one more time because yeah, like I just made a new commit. Wait, hold on. Am I committing to the right repository? Oh god. Am I committing to the right repo? 4 days ago. Okay. Yeah, I was losing my shit over this. Yep, this is how it's supposed to look. Continue to dashboard. Please do not try to install. Okay, yeah, it's building. That's good. Actually, you know what? I'm just killing everything from here. Let's exit this terminal to npm run update URL. Okay, so this, yeah, I mean, I think we should be pretty much good to go. Well, like once this builds out, okay, I need to open this up. Yeah. So I'm just quickly opening up the app setup so I can see what's happening. So first what I want to do is I want to see how it feels like. Because once I get an idea that, okay, this feels good, I can then just, yep, looks good. 2301, why? 2304. I really wish there was something to update the proxy URL so I could just do this every single time. It's just irritating right now. Oh shit, no. Okay, API auth shop equals heroes tester.myshopify.com. Am I hitting the right thing? Oh yeah. Okay, so it's deployed. What are we looking at? Can have network, no elements. It's so weird on Safari. Timelines. Is it timelines? where is the entire, oh no, don't preserve the logs, please. Console, no, elements, where is the, so I'm searching for the place where it shows me how long it took to run this, or I'm looking at the wrong place. I'm pretty sure I'm looking at the wrong place. Graphics, layers, demo audits. Yeah, screw this, dude. Okay. This is a normal thing. Okay. So in create, looks good. Mobile, does it perform? Okay, that's looking good. Create pre-orders. In my manage, this is what I'm concerned about. Yeah, I mean, like, this is gonna act a little weird. I'm not happy with this. Like, it doesn't make sense to use this. I'm pretty sure there's some sort of optimization that needs to go in, because, or is it the bunch of delays that are added in? Because what's happening in manage is you have this, oh wait, where's the, no, sleep? Oh. Yeah, it's the sleep. See, it's, okay. What I'm gonna do instead of this is pull this out, and whatever you're doing is just console log it. Just console log sleep here, because I'm assuming this is what's, oh yeah, this needs to be pushed up. I can just remove all of the sleep instances, no? Yeah, let's just remove all of the sleep instances. Actually, let's just comment it out. Yeah, it's not being used anywhere. Because I really feel like this is causing a lot of issues in terms of performance. Remove sleep. Okay, push, exit. Okay, we're gonna have Vassell build that. Let's see, let's wait for this to happen. Hey, I want to start building Shopify app development. Where can I start? In the roadmap, I have some experience in theme development. If you know how to do theme development, it's pretty simple, honestly. Figure out one thing that you can't do on theme development, but you are like, hey, I want to kind of do it, but I'll have to like create an app for it. Or talk to your merchants, be like, hey, what kind of app do you want? And just start building it. Like there's no other thing. Like if you're good with your basics, pick up a stack, pick up either Express or Next.js. If you're in the JavaScript stack, you can use Rust too. There's no one stopping you from doing any of that. But what you can do is pick up your stack and just start building things locally. I personally prefer using my own repos. Actually, I'm just gonna take this time. By the time it's building, let me just show you guys around. So you can head over to my profile on GitHub. It's KINNGH. It's also on my Twitter, so you can easily find me. I have two of these repos, right? The Node and Next.js. Also have this liquid templates thing. We'll talk about it some other time. So what's happening here is this is like I keep it updated almost every week. What's happening is I update all the packages, make sure it's maintained, all of that stuff. So this uses Express, React, and MongoDB, and Vite for building it. And this is the Next.js one. This uses Next.js and Prisma. So also Next.js and Prisma is what we are using right now. So it's all set up for you. You can kind of come in here, start updating things, like start messing around with things and build. Like there's literally nothing else to it. Just start building things out. Don't think about anything else. And of course, please read the documentation. Don't just go around crying on Discord, hey, how do I do this? No one's gonna help you. Read the documentation. Okay, let's just do a bunch of these clicks because the merchant doesn't care. They're gonna be like, hey, why is this not working? And I'm gonna like, hey, you gotta slow it down. Yeah, this hasn't fixed it. Actually, you know what? I should probably like refresh this once and then see. Maybe that would fix. Also, we're not console logging. We're just I'm not happy with this component, dude. Like, if I head over to orders, yeah, it's much faster. Like, it just instantly is like, hey, here's the thing. Not happy. Like, I feel like I'll just spend some time later on figuring this out, but at least as of right now, I'm pretty happy with this. I feel like I have a good structure. So again, going over what's happening is I'm creating a pre-order app for one of my merchants. Right now we just created a bunch of screens. Let's go back. This is how we are handling the whole pre-order thing. I need to add in the component here. You can also search for products. So you can start typing and it opens up and you can kind of select and you can add it. And then when you start typing again, it kind of comes up done. And you can save it. That clicks in alert. Here you can, this is what we just went. You can see your analytics. This page needs some rework. I feel like I'm gonna think over it. I have another build that I have to finish tomorrow. So yeah. Thanks. How's it going? JS and Vue.js alone. Find a template that works on Vue. Even better. Get one of the Next.js or Express repositories and convert it to Vue. The idea is to use a stack that you are comfortable with instead of just following whatever is happening and of course, wherever you find the most amount of NPM packages, because if you have a lot of NPM packages everywhere, that means that there's a bunch of other people using it and it's very easy to then debug it. Which is always great because eventually you're going to be stuck at a point where like, hey, nothing's going to work out right now. I need someone to like come in and save my butt. That's a thing. So yeah, I mean like, I think that's about it. It's like 2:30 in the morning for me. Yeah, I should sleep. 3:15, okay. Yep, so yeah, I mean like, I hope you guys like learned something from this. This was very impromptu. I just kind of opened up and I started this thing, but yeah. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. I think I'm gonna create like more videos at this point. We'll see what to do about that, but yeah. Anyways, right, take care everyone. I will see you guys later. Right, bye.